Right, I still have that stupid mask on because my wife gets crazy since we don't have the booster shot. But anyhow, neither here nor there, so when I come close, I put it up in my mouth. Hate the damn thing, but you have to do what you have to do. What we're doing right now is we're going to roast some peppers. And we put them on an open flame. If you have the grill going, then you just put it on the grill. So it's pretty simple. So we're going to make them very, very black, and then we're going to put them in a small bowl, and we cover them with a foil, and let them sit there for a while, and then later on we're going to peel them. We're doing all our little preparations here before, because then when I'm going to show you how to make the salad, some of these things which we are cutting up right now will be needed for all our different salads which we are going to do today. You see how wonderful dark it is now? It's super, super dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it into this container, and we let it rest in there. Cover it like this, you see, and we let it rest, and that will make it easy to peel later on. We're going, since we are making a green bean salad, we are going to clean our nice beans here. Now you see, if these beans are thick, what you need to do is you need to go like this, and there's a little string in here which will go out. These ones here don't need it because they're still very, very young. Now if you have an older bean, then that's what you have to do. So you cut off both the ends. You can take 2 or 3 of them at the same time, since we don't have that little string in there. But when you have old beans, they're definitely in there. So what you basically, let me show you one more time how we normally do it. We go like this, if there's big ones, and then you go down, and the string is going to come right out. You have to be careful. So we're going to go ahead and boil this particular beans slightly. When you cook them in salt water. It's boiling salt water, so you put them in there. And you don't want to cook them too long, because if you cook them too long, they will become mushy, and you don't want to cook vegetables so long that they are mushy. So it takes probably, I would say, you have salt water in there. It depends about your stove, but I don't think it takes, but the moment they start boiling, it doesn't take more than, I would say, 5 minutes to be ready. And then after this, we're going to put them under cold water or in ice water, because when you take them out of the boiling water, you want to make sure that the ice water or the cold water keeps the color. These things are preparation for the salads, and I want to get them prepped first. So now what we're going to do is we're going to peel a tomato. So what you do is you take this out, you see, then you form a cross up here like this. All right, you see how it is? Don't take them, just that's all you need to do. Then you go ahead.
Ready.
Then you go ahead and you put it in boiling water. All right, and not for a very long time. Maybe move it around if you don't have enough water. If it doesn't emerge totally in the water, it's better. Now this is the old-fashioned way. In the classical French cuisine, when they made salads, or particularly tomato salad, they made sure that their tomatoes are peeled. Now, I personally don't think it's such a great idea. Let's see if it works. Ah, you see it works. So that's already enough. Then you take this tomato and you put it in cold water like this, you see? So it's not too hot. And now what we're going to do is we're going to peel it. Now we're going to peel it. So here we have our cold water. So see how wonderful this gets off? You see? It's absolutely perfect. All right. So here we go. Now, in the modern days, I would say that I wouldn't suggest doing this anymore because I feel that all the vitamins of vegetables are in the skin. But neither here nor there, that's how I wanted to show you how it was done in the old days. All right. Now what we're going to do is I show you two different things what to do. So you cut it in half. You see, like this. And then you take the inside out and then you can fill it with some different kind of salads for hors d'oeuvre. Let's say this is perfectly filled with a chicken salad or with a tuna fish salad or lobster salad or whatever you want to do. The only thing you want to do is you want to cut a little bit the ends here so it stays properly. You see, like this. Like this. And then what you do is you take the inside out. You basically squeeze it out like this. Like this. And here. Now, if you fill it with something else, let's say you fill it with salad, you might just want to go around a little bit like this and cut the rest of it out. But it's not necessary to do that. We're going to plant some spinach. Like this. And that's the same procedure you would do if you cook any kind of green vegetables or any kind of vegetables. Let's say you cook broccoli, you cook asparagus, you cook cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Whatever vegetable you cook should be done the same way. Put it in boiling salt water. Bring it to a boil, make sure it is crisp, put it either under cold water or put it into ice water to have the natural colors which are in the vegetables, so you don't lose this color because your eyes eat with it. If you have a plate, if you have a nice dish, you want to make sure that whatever you cook looks very appetizing, because your eyes eat as much. The appetite is brought out with your eyes as much as it's brought out with your mouth. So make always sure any food you cook is beautifully placed. It doesn't need all kind of garnishes on it. It can be very simple. Simplicity for food is one of the most important things. You don't want to mix so many things into food and then it comes out totally ridiculous. But you see, this is done already. It takes a few seconds. The moment it boils, comes to a boil, what you do, you take, here we have our ice ball. So we take that out of there, put it in here. And then we put it under cold. We rinse it a little bit under cold water, because when this one is boiling, you see it takes quite a bit of the water gets hot very, very fast. So here we go. That is how you plant spinach. And then later on I will show you how to make some sauteed spinach and how to make some cream spinach. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut all the different peppers and vegetables which we need for to garnish our salads, which we'll do later on. All right, so we got some yellow bell peppers, some red bell peppers, then some poblano peppers, and some jalapeno peppers. That's good enough. Some jalapeno peppers, and I think when you do jalapeno peppers, you see, now the paint, make sure you use a little spoon, because sometimes, you know, this little seeds in there can be very, very, very powerful and stay in your hands for like the whole day. Even if you wash it very well with soap, it's still there. So a spoon is an easier way of doing it. When I lived in Texas, they used to have the jalapeno eat off, and some of these people, I don't know how many hundreds of jalapenos they ate. It's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? And that you can eat so many jalapenos because they're quite hot. There's something in the peppers, and I forgot the name, which makes your mouth burn really bad. It's a Latin name, and since I'm getting older, I seem to forget certain things if I don't write them down, and I forgot it, but I know that much. There's something in the peppers which makes peppers hot. You see, like this, we go in here, take out the little thing, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut all of these peppers into some nice juliennes, you know. Here we go. Now we're going to cut them. Later on, we can garnish our salads with it. You see what I'm saying? Like this, here we go. Like the way I did this one, you should do at home. Now, if you work in a very fancy restaurant, then what you need to do is you need to take this one out and this top part out like this. Then you cut off the ends, and these leftovers can be used in sauces or whatever. And then you go like this. And you see how the juliennes are absolutely perfect. And then you go like this, and you cut them this way. And this is what it's called, brunoise. You see? So we mix them all together because we are going to just garnish our salads and sprinkle that on top, and it gives it a beautiful color. Which, like I said before, colors are important in the preparation of food. You remember when we did the pepper? So what we're doing right now is we're going to peel it. It's a real pain in the butt. Sometimes what doesn't get off, we're going to wash off. You see? Because we don't want that burnt stuff in the salad, you know? See, like this, getting almost everything off. Alright, so we got one of them. Let's try another one. Sometimes it's really strange. Some of them get off real easy. You can take the whole thing out. And then some other ones are just a super problem. You know? Here we go. All right. Now we got most of it out. Now what we're gonna do is, oh my God, now I put it right back into the mess. And it can stick too when you put it back in the mess. And then you're in real trouble. Now what I'm gonna do is cut it down. Take this little thing off here, the end, and then go like this halfway through, not all the way. Like this, like this. You see, then you take your knife and you take the little inside out. Like this. Like this. And then you turn it around. Make sure that you got almost everything out of there, which we do now. There's a few little spots in there. That's not the end of the world. And then you cut it lengthwise like this. And you don't cut it too small. You cut it in bigger pieces like this, you see? Because if you cut them too small, what will happen, they will all fall apart. And this is not what you want to do. Our next job is how to peel garlic. I don't know if I've ever showed you how to peel garlic. So here's the garlic clove. So what you do is you go with your hands like this. You see? And you take the big pieces apart. Like that. Go. All right. Here we go. We're going to do another one. The same way. Here again. Put it in here. This. And like now we're going to peel it like this. And again, this is stuff which we're going to use later on for our cooking. All right, like this. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to peel some onions. And the important thing when you peel onions and you cut onions, you leave this part over here on the onion. You know what I mean? Because this will be the part which I will show you later on, which is important to keep the onion together when you slice it. You see what I mean? Because otherwise it will be hard to cut onion brunoise. All right, so we got it here. Then we got a red onion here, which we're going to cut a little bit different than the white onion. All right, so here we go. They're ready to be cut. Here's our onion. You see that piece is still here. This is the piece who's going to keep it together. So you go down this way. Then you go this way. You hold your hands like this. Nice and easy. Try to cut it as far as you can. Then you turn the onion around and you go this way. You see now why this is important to have here, that end piece, because it keeps the onion together. Then you turn around and you go like this. And you see, you have perfect little dices. See how nice they are? And you see, it's always so important when anything you cook is always cut the same way. Good enough. Here we have some wonderful fresh ginger. Ginger is one of the best vegetables, or I don't even know exactly what they're called exactly, but it is wonderful for using in any kind of dish you ever like to prepare. It doesn't matter what dish it is. It's super, super healthy. So what we're going to do is, we're going to peel. I cut off a little piece here. We just peel it like this. You see? Go like this. Here, and when you smell it, it has a wonderful, great smell to it. I love ginger. I mean, there's ginger powder available, but it just isn't the same thing at all. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut it up as fine as you can. Do it like we did before, lengthwise first. Like this. Put it together so it's nice and even. Then you turn it around and you go like this. And then turn it one more time. You can also grate it if you want to. It's up to you. If you don't want to cut it, grate it. It really makes no difference if it's grated or if it's cut. It will do the same. The one thing you want to make sure, you don't want to like grate many gingers in advance. So if you ever do a dish this particular day, what you need to do is you need to leave it, you need to cut it at the same day, I would say. So don't let it sit around, because any kind of vegetables, if they sit around, I mean, you know, sometimes if you don't see a vegetable or something like this in the supermarket which you don't like, you can also you should go into, so now you can also slice it. You see? And you can put that one, I mean, you can eat a sliced ginger like this. There's nothing wrong with this. Just one big piece. Like that, you see? Or you can also cut it in juliennes, if you like to. Just like this. I mean, biting into a nice piece of ginger, it will totally refresh your mouth. No, anyway, when I wanted to go back to explaining some vegetables. And if a vegetable is in the supermarket for 4 or 5 days, it already loses all the vitamins and all the greatness it has. So when you take it home, then you put it in your refrigerator for 3 or 4 days. And then it basically, there's nothing left in there. It's all evaporated. So what you should do sometimes, first of all, always go to your market on a daily basis to get your fresh vegetables. In the United States, particularly in California, they get great markets, you know, where you go in the morning and a farmer's market and you pick up your vegetable of the day or your lettuce of the day. But if you don't have this luxury, sometimes frozen lettuce, frozen vegetables are actually they're much richer in vitamins than fresh ones. And many people don't believe you, but it's the absolutely true truth. They did scientific research on it and they came up with it. And they know a lot more about vitamins and the health benefits something has than I do as a chef. I know a lot, but I don't know that much. All right, here are my last of my preparations, or so-called mise en place, is chopping the parsley. And when I learned cooking a long time ago, the most important thing in cooking is that you are ready when service starts, because there is lots and lots of pressure in the kitchen. People sometimes don't understand that, how important the kitchen is. In the book we are writing right now, Pedro and I, we took out some chapters from Larousse, which I consider one of the best books written about the culinary field. And it explains like how the kitchen started and how a kitchen is organized, who is working in there, who is responsible for certain situations. And it's quite interesting. I even forgot some of the stuff I learned a long time ago. And we are in the process of building a seminar, a kitchen seminar for apprentices. And it will be in 3-4 stages. The first stages which we are working on is the salad station. After that, we are going to do vegetables, then potatoes, pastas, pizzas, hamburgers, sandwiches, just the easy things what an apprenticeship basically, but when you learn it in an apprenticeship program the way I learned it in Germany. But if you go ahead and you read this program and you actually want to be a chef, at the same time, maybe you would like to go and work in a very nice restaurant or hotel for little money and tell the chef, look, I'm taking this program I'm learning quite a bit, but I need hands-on, because hands-on is one of the most important things in the kitchen. Because you do not learn how to cut vegetable fast, or how to cook 2 or 3 sauces together, or how to, when service starts, we have 5 different vegetables and the chef asked for 3, 4 different vegetables which you have to remember in your head. This can only be done when you are working in a kitchen, in a professional kitchen. And it's hands-on. And you always need to read cookbooks from all over the world. It doesn't matter if you know already everything. Just if you find a great article, read it, save it in a folder. It will be handy for you down your road. I have basically 25 or 30 folders of my trips around the world, the different foods, the different cultures, and that's what we are trying to put together on our YouTube channel, on our website, on our blog, on Instagram, on Twitter, even on TikTok. We want to do certain things. So we will see from now on how this all will work out, but it will take us quite a bit of time. But first of all, it took me over 1.5 years to actually put all my folders together, which were all mixed and matched. So, but we have some fun doing it, and hopefully if you read it and you subscribe to this, you might actually become a young chef.